Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Special guest today is Kevin Banks, CEO and founder of Dream Big, and I made it right. It took me a year to get that correct.
You got it right. It's not big dream, dream big.
Dream big, and I tell you, the success you've had with it kind of updated us. I mean, it's been a while. So, you know, a lot of that's why you're here on the show.
That's why I'm here.
So let's kind of just give what Dream Big did last year and
sure.
where it's moving. I see a new little carrot for the sponsorship. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, we dangled the carrot to segue in what we're going to talk about. Yeah, so you know, Dream Big. We're pretty known for the Cuts for Kids program that we do each year before the kids go back to school. Free haircuts, backpacks, school supplies. Been on and talked about that several times. So now we're entering into a new era, if you will, of Dream Big, and that's jumping into the sports world with the youth. One of the things that we've been blessed to have in terms of an opportunity is working with 505 volleyball over at the Field House. The Field House located off of Paseo del Norte.
A new venue.
A new venue. It houses the Albuquerque Baseball Academy with Mike Foote, Henry Sandoval and the team. They're over the volleyball side, and they reached out to me and asked if I can come and kind of oversee basketball. So under the Dream Big umbrella, we're going to start introducing different basketball programs. We've been getting the equipment, basketball hoops up, etc. And for now, we're utilizing the space for court rentals. We know there's a huge need out there in the basketball community, especially youth basketball, looking for venues to practice. So we have that space available as the preview had ran before we started. And then we are going to branch out into personal training for the kids, basketball-wise. We'll eventually jump out into doing club sports. And the main premise behind all of this is you have a lot of kids out in the community that they don't have the best means. They can't afford to jump into club ball. They don't have the means to pay for personal training. So we're going to introduce a program of which we can help kind of offset those costs and have a facility not only to practice and to train and to play with teams in the club environment, but it's affordable. So mom and dad aren't paying an arm and a leg. The coaches that are looking for venues, they're typically mom and dads that volunteer their time. They don't have a lot of funds to buy equipment, etc. So we're going to provide that at the venue. And we're talking not only basketballs and cones for training, but we're making an investment in the shooting guns, the shoot-away machines, IC3 units, those type things. So when you come in, you don't have to worry about bringing stuff because it'll all be there and ready.
Well, so you have fundamentals, I guess, you've broken it down. You have league play. I mean, is it league play on the weekend, or just, you know, update me on? I know you.
Yeah, indeed.
Kevin, you're so organized and have all the way down. I know you're coming out. Right now, you're just blowing me away with all the things you've accomplished in the last 3 months, because you've been very quiet and just been working behind the scenes.
I have. You know, we really haven't announced a lot of what we're doing. We just want to make sure it's right before we release
That's
stuff.
one thing about people that don't know Kevin Banks. That's he wants to make sure it's right before he goes out and starts promising or doing things that are not realistic.
Exactly, because, you know, a lot of people will talk about what they want to do or what's going to happen, and it doesn't happen or come to fruition. We just want to make sure it's right. The things that we say and what we're trying to kind of accomplish, we want to make sure everything's set in stone. My cousin and mentor, Greg Webb, always says, you know, you got to be methodical about your approach. Make sure everything is taken care of before you present it out. The first thing that happens is if you tell people stuff that you're going to do and it doesn't happen, it's already failed before you even start. So like I said, we've kind of been quiet. You just alluded to that. getting things together, slowly introducing one step at a time. We're pretty much in phase 1. And then as we grow, of course, things will be let out. We'll come and advertise more things that we're opening up. But like I said, just looking out, the progression is court space rental, then we'll introduce the training, basketball camps, and then we'll jump into league play. And when I say league play, it's more for kind of the little guys. There's a lot of leagues out there that are taking care of the kind of middle school, high school arena. We want to start off with the little guys, the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. We have adjustable hoops that can lower, so that way we can get their fundamentals down the correct way. And then, like I said, individual training, and we'll kind of branch out in that arena.
Well, I'll tell you, that's something long overdue that, many people have tried, and I think the word is, it's a great idea, but it doesn't happen in fruition. It's a lot of work and a lot of thinking, and very, to go one step further, your Mike Foote is real similar to that. I mean, he helped get the West Side. I mean, he was very instrumental in behind that, and how valuable has that become to the city? I mean, it's been something sitting there. Facilities for, as you know, with the economic crunch that the APS and the mid schools have, and with also security now, it's almost background checks. I mean, it's getting almost impossible to I think we forgot about the basis of really what our country's about is our youngsters, and,
That's right.
and making sure that they have a place to stay off the streets and have fun and be competitive in what they do.
You touched on something there, our youth. I'm so passionate about our youth and making sure that there's things that they can do so they aren't running the streets. And the reason why I started Dream Big was specifically that, giving a platform to where the youth can kind of reach out, or we can kind of be that beacon in terms of an organization, so they can look to Dream Big as to, hey, what is there that's going on that the youth can kind of couple themselves to. And that was one being the Cuts for Kids program. We had introduced the Youth Employment Symposium, because I'm always conscious about the youth and what their plans are in the future. So with that program there, that's another program of which we kind of prepare the kids before they make the transition from high school to college, and they have to have that career-minded thought process. So we kind of get all that format together. And then now jumping into the sports arena, same thing. There's so many different activities out there, but not, and I would say a majority of our population can't afford to be a part of club teams. They can't afford to get personal trainers when it comes to basketball and different sports. So as we introduce this new basketball program, this new basketball, I'll call it arena. I wish it really was an arena, but the basketball umbrella under Dream Big, we are really truly trying to make it affordable for mom and dad, as well as the participation from the youth.
Well, we're going to go to Dream Style Top 10 Plays of the Week,
All right.
and come back and talk more about Dream Big.
Definitely.
There's a big right, and then an uppercut for Benavides. Oh.
It's picked off. It's Nava's third interception. Send it in, Dominic Nava.
Big left hand there by Aguilera. Oh, and look at this. Right away, guys. Right hand's going to affect. And Aguilera is going to try to finish it right now. Kenny with a right and then another left. Lucero's in trouble, guys. Back to the corner.
To Bob Alcorn for the call. 5-step drop, steps up in the pocket, throws long, he's got a receiver open, Goudelet's out there, touchdown. Touchdown to Noah Goudelet.
Play action down the middle, and it's O'Toole, and he's loose. Touchdown.
by one of the up men for the Tigers. Garcia's got open room. One man to beat. Garcia could be gone for an opening kickoff return, and they reverse it, and Garcia will score. 80-yard touchdown return for Jonathan Garcia.
There's Williams again. And again, off left tackle. Look out. Shot
gone.
out of
He's
a
gone.
cannon.
He's gone.
DeAndre Williams for the touchdown. And down goes Rodriguez.
The fighting pride of Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Pitbull, Josh Torres.
Here's Amaro, gets the snap, facing pressure. He's got to tuck it, he's scrambling, still scrambling, dumps it off, pass is caught. It's Irigoyen, he's still going, touchdown Demons!
They'll have to punt it away. Almost got to it. Instead it'll get to the deep man all the way back to the 8-yard line. And that is Reese. Reese looking for the edge. Look out, Reese out in front. There's one more defender to beat. Now he cuts back up the middle at the 50. Reese is still on his feet. Santa Maria! Reese is racing down the sideline. Touchdown, Roswell. What an amazing return.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. We got Kevin Banks, Dream Big, CEO and also founder. Something you're proud of and very moving into youth sports.
Youth sports, much needed avenue. Man.
Yeah, and more of year round too. Instead of just gives similar. I think you learn your lesson with like Proview. It's year round, and it's hard to just do one event sometimes. If you just always have a little bit of everything going, then it works out a lot easier.
Kind of sprinkle it throughout the year, like you're saying. It just makes a lot of sense because there's always a need. So year round, that's what we're doing.
You know, you have. Let's talk about the facility, okay?
Yeah,
One I haven't been to, so I'm going blind. I need to get over, okay? So
I'll take you
I need an
over.
invitation, but I haven't gotten an invitation.
You're officially invited, Steve.
Location.
Yeah, so it's off of Paseo del Norte, west of Jefferson, 4105 Paseo. The facility is phenomenal. First of its kind here in Albuquerque. Multi-use facility. So as I had mentioned with Mike Foote and Albuquerque Baseball Academy, those guys do an awesome job. They really do. Batting cages for baseball, fast pitch, softball. You also have artificial turf fields outside, which it's amazing. The turf. I know I had some pro guys out there just kind of giving them a tour of the facility, and whether it's football, soccer, etc., they love the turf. They love the spacing. So it's something that Mike is proud of, Henry's proud of, myself. I love bringing people to show them the facility. It's a magnificent area, magnificent space. Inside on the volleyball/basketball side, we have 6 courts, 6 volleyball courts. You have the sport court surface, just pro level everything. It's so refreshing to have a facility like that here in Albuquerque.
We don't want to forget about Scott Grady too. I mean, I think
Definitely don't want to forget.
I mean, we got some great names in there.
Thank you for bringing that
up. I mean, I just
Indeed.
it was his land, and
Yes.
and again another person that methodically. I mean, this thing's been on the drawing board for almost 6 years or 7 years, and Scott put in the right pieces and took
Yes.
the time and
Yes.
and just what a great entrepreneur that he is, man.
Let me just say, first of all, thank you for reminding me to talk about Scott. Yeah, absolute great person. His vision and getting all this together, it's just phenomenal. I think he's passionate about the youth and making sure that this venue was put in place. You're right, it was his land. He is the major spearhead behind this whole facility. So he's passionate about what's going on down there. He's excited about what's to come. We still have construction going on. It's a 2-story facility, so we have quite a few organizations that'll be housed there. But my goodness, he's definitely involved in every facet of the facility. So can't say enough about Scott and what he's done to create this space.
Let's kind of go into details about, times you can, the courts are available and
Sure.
and weekends and those type. If somebody's out there wanting to be a coach a team or play or do what, give me some more details on that.
Absolutely. So right now, because it is a shared space in terms of court time, we have the 505 volleyball folks and Duke City Volleyball. They utilize the volleyball courts, and this is volleyball season we're about to jump into.
And we're going to be actually doing some. Hopefully, we're going to be doing some things there with the volleyball. So it's our salesman Marty Watts has been over there, and he's
Sure.
he's instrumental with in doing more with ABA and in the baseball world. We did that last summer out on the west side, and so even though I haven't been there, I'm there.
You're definitely, your presence is felt. We have Proview there in the building. But in terms of court times, like I said, we're being methodical about it. So right now, I can tell you we're in the process of doing open gym times. That's open gym in the morning, open gym in the afternoon. We will be running tournaments during the weekends, as well as open court times. We also have the court rental space. It is available pretty much Monday through Sunday. During the day is wide open. We do have some volleyball tournaments that'll take place throughout. Well, let's see, we have one at the end of this month, and then going into January, we have another one. And throughout the year, there's probably about 7 total tournaments. That's just volleyball. Once we start kind of packing that calendar up with some basketball tournaments and another thing is the court space will start to kind of dwindle down, but that will all be available at hoopnationusa.com. I know we'll show the prompts on how to get there and look at the calendar to see what's available, but it'll definitely be organized. There'll be some times that you can go in if you want to do training. We'll have personal training there for the youth, and we're pounding on this youth thing, but I also want to get you out there and kind of brush up your basketball skills. We're going to offer adult basketball training as well.
Well, as long as the court's condensed and I don't have to go, and I can stay behind the half court and shoot, then that's, if there's a league that's there and nobody can guard me, then I'm pretty demanding. As the older you get, that you just don't want to hurt this.
Yeah, we'll have to tailor that just for you, Steve. Really, we are looking at doing over 40 basketball leagues. They are shorter courts, the 6 courts, so we can do 4-on-4. It'll cater to those that don't want to run the full length of a full-size basketball court. So that's kind of more my range, and we can get more specific with your dimensions. We can do that, but absolutely. I did have a lot of feedback from some older folks, if you will, some veteran basketball players, and that's the thing that they're looking for is kind of that short court space.
Well, let's we're going to go to a little break here, and we'll come back and talk more about Dream Maker. You got me excited. Maybe I'll come out of retirement.
Hey, let's pull out them shoes.
The New Mexico High School Coaches Association, established in 1941, is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rates, and higher wages. Responsible for the North-South All-Star Games, statewide Coaches Award Program, and providing multiple professional development opportunities for New Mexico's coaches. Be a great coach by coaching beyond the game.
Every now and then you run into a guard that you're in awe with their skill set. Eric Benedict is one of those guards. I've watched Eric play for a while. I've trained with Eric. He is a monster when it comes to skill set. His explosiveness, his power, his shot accuracy, it's something you rarely see. Eric is an international professional athlete. We love having him at the facility. He's somebody that can give a lot of skill sets to in terms of youth athletes aspiring to be better in basketball and adults as well. Love having Eric with us at Hoop Nation. Come check him out. More information, call 505-328-6954 or visit hoopnationusa.com.
Hey, welcome back to Steve Davis Show. Kevin Banks, having a good time this morning. And you know, one thing I know about you, personnel is big to you. Bringing in people that are, you know, have your vision, and it has to start with, you know, your staff. Tell me a little bit about your staff and what besides yourself, working 80 hours a week. But
Right. You know, the clip just showed Eric Benedict is one of our trainers. The reason why I wanted to start with Eric. Eric is his ethics, his morals, his approach to the game of basketball.
Give me a little background on him.
So Eric is a guy that hope he doesn't mind. Just kind of talk just a little bit about his personal story, not to go in depth, but you know, it's a guy that has overcome some very difficult odds. He was diagnosed with cancer and kind of battled that and came back, went into remission. Didn't give up on anything. A super motivated and hard working person, a kind individual. Bounced back, got his basketball skills honed, and actually went overseas, different countries. I believe one was Poland, and I forget the other place that he played, but played professional ball and had some success with that. Then Eric works with a lot of talent here in town, but he's kind of like me. He's really quiet about what he does, but you know, he puts a lot into it. He has a huge heart, loves to give back. So, you know, I met Eric a couple of years back, and we talked to learn a little bit about his story. And he's just a guy that you want to be around. He's so motivated and positive all the time. So when this opportunity for me came up, Eric was one of the first people that I thought about. So he's kind of helped me so far with not only being there, and he's trained a couple of kids there so far. He's actually helped me out with my basketball skills and brushing off kind of those.
Well, that's a major
shoes.
project. I mean,
Hey, we don't.
I mean, if he can get that done, then
If
he can get that done, and
Right.
I can just see Kevin wanting me to get on that court with him. He's going to show me those skills.
Yeah, I don't know. We might need to have some ambulance standing by for that. Oh, really and truly, Eric is, and he brought up this kind of concept about guys like myself that, you know, we played college ball and we've been at that higher level. We're not so petrified, if you will, to not play ball anymore. You know, I still play county league, etc. But today's game is a different game than how it was when I played in college. Now, a lot of guys are, you know, as I said, kind of in the promo, Eric is super explosive, and some of the moves and techniques that he's showing me, I truly feel like I'm learning the game all over again. Stuff that he's been teaching me, I'm like, wow, I didn't know this. I didn't know kind of the different perspective of how the game is being taught today versus how I was taught the game of basketball. And you know, I'm one of those guys that, hey, old school is the best way, that's the only way. But Eric has opened up my eyes into how the game is played and how the game is trained. He's actually learned a lot from some of these current trainers that are around the country, pro-level guys, NBA trainers, and he's bringing those techniques to the kids here. And I had to have him at our facility so he can kind of give our kids some of that insight and some of that knowledge of the game.
Well, you know, that's funny you bring that, and I think the word's creativity.
Absolutely.
I mean, before when the old school was you know, more, you know, the passing game and more of, you know, now it's creativity off the dribble and pick and roll. I mean, it's something that, you know, I don't know that if you had that in your offense, it wasn't
I was a
in
ball
well, I figured that. Okay, so, you know, the word banks on the back, you bank it in, you know, just, you know,
bank shot,
banks,
deposit your money in the banks.
Right,
I got it.
So, you know, we understand. You know, you don't even have to detail that. That it just comes out with the name. Okay. So,
well, you know.
You know, just last night I was just, you know, Volcano Vista, and I was talking to Lisa Royale before the game, and I was just watching the kids warm up. Even the warm up and the things that they were doing before the game. And she goes, why are you so amazed? I said, because I haven't seen this done, man. I said,
Right.
hey, I mean, they're working, they had the wall, and they were using the wall, they had their hands and dribbling and doing, just doing things that, I didn't feel I was that far removed, but truthfully I am. There's still room for old school techniques and everything with the creativity part of it, but
Indeed.
to see what these young ladies were doing and accomplishing right in front of my eyes. I mean, this was like an hour before the game, and it's the way that it was set up. The girls played first and the boys played second, and nobody was in the gym. And I got there an hour early, and I was just watching both teams, Robert Pereira's team, and just what the dynamics of how the girls changed over the last 30 years or so.
Right. It's just, with their footwork and the speed and the agility that you see in the game now, it's so much different. I think when we played, it was more about power and getting the ball and banging down low, attacking the rim and being strong with it. Now it's a more agile game, and that's kind of what Eric brings to the table. So that combination of today's game with that implementation of the speed and agility, plus a little old school feel with making sure you're strong with the ball. So those concepts coming together, I think, makes a perfect program.
Well, I was just astonished. I mean, and that's what I guess the word "dream big" is moving toward to, is bringing in those skills and that skill level to, and also promote it every on a daily and weekly,
Absolutely.
year round.
Year round.
That's something, this is a year's round. This is just not, all right, basketball, we're going to go from November to January, till March 1st. This is a year round.
It's year round, and the location which we're at is perfect, because if you're in the west side, easy to get to. You have Paseo.
I could just say maybe 20 minutes is at the max from everybody. Is that
Absolutely.
20 minutes or less, and you're there.
Absolutely.
So, and the traffic is mostly freeway. In either direction you come from.
Even if you're coming in from Santa Fe, it's
Right.
a straight shot. You're off the interstate and you're right there. So that's a benefit in itself. But
Quickly, Kevin,
sure.
How do we get a hold of you? How's this all work?
So a couple of ways. You can call 505-328-6954. You can visit us on the website dreambigabq.org, or you can visit our other website, our new website, hoopnationusa.com.
Well, Kevin, I want to thanks for coming on and appreciate all the hard work you're doing.
Thank you.
And thanks for taking care of the youth.
Appreciate it.